Okay, so to begin, let's start in a nice, comfortable child's pose. And in child's pose, our knees are together and our torso is gently laid over the tops of our knees. You can crawl your hands out all the way in front of you and bring your forehead to the mat. Start to connect with your breath and intentionally start to deepen. Feeling the expansion on the tops of your thighs. Letting your shoulders fall away from your ears and start to creep down your back. Release some of the tension in your hips or in your low back. Into your each one of your vertebrae, creating space in between. While we're in child's pose, this is a good time to set an intention for your practice. Something that you can carry with you throughout this whole hour. And maybe even something that you can carry with you into the rest of your week. I invite you to hold space for the uncertainty that you're experiencing probably right now, not really knowing what kind of class you're getting into, the uncertainty for the week that lies ahead, whether your schedule is perfectly planned or a little bit chaotic. When you hold the space for the uncertainty, you make room to be a little bit more wholehearted in your actions and your steps. And I know most of our lives are most definitely very chaotic. So try to take some time to just embrace the silence. Create intentional moments for yourself to simply just be. When you get on your mat, you can let everything else go. All the troubles of today, all the stress. And you can meet yourself right where you are tonight. Take your last couple rounds of breath here in this nice, relaxing pose. And when you're ready, we're going to turn our head to the right and look over towards your right armpit, resting your head on the mat. Giving just a little gentle twist in your neck. Go ahead and look the other way, over to your left. You can bring your head back to center, and we're going to crawl our hands over to the left side of our mat and sink our hips over to the right, really stretching through that right side body. Finding a little bit of movement that's comfortable for you. Working through the tightness in your hips or your glute. Maybe it's your shoulder or your rib cage. Crawl your hands back to center and over to the right side, stretching through your left side body and sinking your left hips towards the floor. Take a couple more gentle movements. Walk your hands back to center and then walk them up to rest on the tops of your thighs into hero's pose. If you're not already in the center of your mat, go ahead and scoot yourself to be right in the center. If it's uncomfortable for you to be on your knees like this, if you have a block or a pillow, you can set that underneath your cute little butt, and it gives you a little bit of space in between so it's not so tense on your knees. Sit up nice and tall, head on top of shoulders, shoulders stacked on top of hips. Nice straight line. Mindfully engage through your shoulders, pulling them down your back, tightening up your core, all the way through to your fingertips. We're gonna inhale, raise our hands above head, and exhale, we're gonna place our hands behind our body with our fingertips facing in towards our toes. Pull your shoulders towards one another. Stay strong in your core. Gently gaze up. Option to stay here, or if you would like, we can go a little bit deeper. So make sure that you're very strong in your core here to support your spine. And then drop down to your elbows. Again, option to stay here. You can interlace your hands behind your back, or you can gently come down to have your shoulders rest on the floor. Meet your body where you're comfortable here. You can come all the way down. You can have your hands, your arms all the way extended with your hands on the ground. Feeling a nice stretch in the tops of your thighs, the front of your hips. Inhale, reach your arms above head and stretch all the way up, interlacing your fingers with your pointer fingers extended. As to like create a line all the way from your pointer fingers down through your crown, through your spine, your sacral, Notice the difference between pain and discomfort here. Breathe into those places that you're holding a little bit deeper. Allow yourself to release. Three more deep inhales. You can create a little bit of restriction in the back of your throat called ujjayi or fire breath, as to make an audible sound and to start to build some heat in your body. On your next exhale, if you are all the way down, go ahead and slowly shift yourself up. So strong through your core. Bring your elbows up first, then up to your hands, back onto heroes with your hands resting back on top of your thighs. We're gonna swing our legs out in front of us, give our ankles a little bit of a break. And go ahead and rotate them from one side to the other. Mine lost a lot of blood flow and they look so weird right now. Definitely needed these little baby circles. Go ahead and bring your legs up just to a nice little gentle seat, creating almost like a little mountain with your legs. Bringing your feet to touch, we're gonna inhale, arms above head, and exhale, gently fold our spine over the tops of our legs. Letting your chin rest on your knees. Really creating space in your low back. Pulling your shoulders a little bit away from one another. Stay with your breath and feel that nice stretch between each one of your vertebrae. Inhale, back to center. Kick your legs out just a little bit more, not all the way out yet. We're gonna inhale one more time. Still with a pretty generous bend in your knees here. Deep inhale and exhale all the air out. Inhale, back to center. We're gonna send our legs all the way out. And we're gonna stretch through our back hamstrings. So be pretty mindful not to overstretch here to cause any injury. Bring your arms above head and just meet yourself where you're at. So as you exhale, if you find you're ready to stop right here, definitely stop right here and flow with your breath. So each exhale, you can go a little bit deeper, tucking your navel into spine, staying strong through your shoulders, keeping your toes activated. Exhale a little bit deeper. A little bit deeper. Until you meet yourself at your most extended point. We're going to take a couple minutes here to really stretch out through the backs of your legs. So get nice and comfortable and stay with your breath. Come back to that intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. Inhaling deep into your lungs, feeling your rib cage expand over your thighs. Staying long through the back of your neck. Take 3 more big, deep inhales. Creating that ujjayi, that fire breath on your exhale. On your last exhale, make it audible. So deep inhale, exhale, breathe it out. Slowly creep yourself back up to a seated position. And you can bring your feet, the soles of your feet in to meet one another into a nice butterfly pose. Staying tall through your spine and being a unique, beautiful little butterfly. Take a couple more little flutters. And we're gonna bring our knees in together and push ourselves up to our tippy toes. You can keep your hands, your fingertips on their mat to stay grounded, or you have an option to wrap your arms around your knees and give yourself a great big hug. Really spread your toes out if you're having a hard time balancing. Each individual little piggy is very important for your balance. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard that if you get your pinky toe cut off that you can't like walk anymore. And now that I'm saying that out loud, it sounds really gullible. And that's probably not true. But either way, your toes are probably really important. We're gonna come down, bring our knees down, and walk yourself back into a tabletop position. I think everybody here has taken a class or two with me, so you probably know what we're gonna do. Gonna drop your belly down, tip your tailbone up, spread through your shoulders, and look up into cow. Feel free to moo. You're all muted, so I really can't hear you. Exhale, round through the spine. Tuck in the navel, dip the tailbone, push through your shoulders. Inhale, cow. I'm not muted. I don't think I'm gonna move. I kind of want to, but I'm just gonna pass. Go ahead and move a couple of times with your breath here. Really just wake up your spine and answer to what your body needs. So a couple classes ago, I noticed I kept saying that. Just listen to your body, answer to your body, listen to that girl inside you. And a lot of times that's kind of hard to do because we just live in this chaotic moment and we don't take those purposeful times of silence. And maybe that's why it's so difficult to tune into your body when we have all these external stressors going on. We've got the TV, we've got the radio, we've got kids screaming at us, we've got our jobs to answer to. And so it's kind of nice to just be able to have a quiet moment and listen to your body. And I will stop talking now so you can have a quiet moment and listen to your body. Take a couple more organic movements. Wiggle through your spine. Shake your tail. We are going to come back to a neutral spine. We're going to extend through our left arm and extend through our right leg, pushing our heel through this imaginary wall, really stretching through the tops of our fingertips, pushing through that right shoulder. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee, and back out. Exhale, elbow to knee, and back out. One more time, elbow to knee, and back out. We're gonna keep our right leg lifted and drop our left hand, and then send our right leg out wide over. I'm gonna switch so you guys can see me. So bring the bottom of your foot flat to your mat here. Yeah, there you go. Root to rise, come all the way up. Oh, beautiful. Bring your hands up above, overhead, and we're gonna stretch over to the left, bringing our left hand to the mat and stretching with our right hand way, way over. Creating a nice, beautiful line from fingertip all the way to the edge of our foot. Roll your right shoulder down your back and push through that left hip so you're not sinking too deep into it. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Beautiful. Bring your hands back down. Go ahead and walk back to your tabletop position. And we're going to send our right hand out in front of us. Left foot goes back, pushes through that imaginary wall. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, back out. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, back out. Exhale one more time, crunch it in. And back out. Drop your right hand. Send your left leg out wide, bringing the sole of your foot down to your mat, and root to rise all the way up, stretching with your left leg out here. Inhale, arms above head, and stretch over to the right side. Rolling that left shoulder down your back, opening up through your chest. Pushing strong through that right shoulder. Take a couple more deep inhales, really stretch that left side body. And exhale, come back down to center. We're going to keep our left leg out in front of us and pop up your right knee and keep your toes on the mat into a low lunge. Go ahead and set yourself up here. Option to keep that right knee dropped if that's more comfortable for you. Pull your shoulders down your back. We're gonna inhale, drop our foot down parallel to the back of our mat and open up into warrior two. So in warrior two, our left leg is 90-degree angle over our toe, but be careful not to have your knee overextended and over the top of your toe or twisted in too much. You wanna open up all 5 toes on the mat on the right side here, opening up your chest and gently, I wanted to say glazing, but that's not right. Gazing over your left hand. Staying strong through your arms, powerful in that left thigh, squeezing your glutes together. Inhale, we're gonna drop our left knee, our left elbow to our left knee. Let me say that one more time. We're gonna drop our left elbow to our left knee and reach our right hand up above overhead. It's been a long day, okay? And exhale, reverse your warrior, sending your left hand up above head. Do this a couple more times with your own breath. And stay with that ujjayi. So we're really gonna build some heat here. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, right arm comes over. Take a couple more. On your next one, when you come back, we're gonna windmill our arms all the way back down to frame our foot and take our left foot back to meet the right into a high plank. Option to drop the knees or stay where you're at. So if you're dropping the knees, go ahead and go knees, chest, and then your chin. If you're staying up in a high plank, hug your elbows in very tight and slowly chaturanga all the way down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, come down. Inhale, back up to downward facing dog. Go ahead and take a second to walk your dog out here. Stretch through those legs, but they probably feel very opened up because we took so much time at the beginning of the practice. Ground down through each one of your fingertips and tuck your navel in tight. If you want to have a generous bend in the back of your knees, it'll help keep your spine straight. The goal is not necessarily to have our heels on the back of our mat, but to have a straight spine and have your hips raising way, way up to the sky. We're gonna inhale, tap our toes, send the right leg up, and send it all the way through in between your hands. We're back in our low lunge with the right foot forward. Set yourself up here. Drop the heel, root to rise all the way up. Warrior two, right side. Feeling a little bit more familiar now. Our right heel should send the line all the way back to the center of our left foot. Really open up through that right leg. Careful not to dip your knee in here. Open, pull your shoulders back to meet one another. Look over that right hand. Inhale, drop the knee, meet the elbow. Again, drop the elbow, meet the knee, send the left hand all the way over. Exhale, reverse your warrior, sending that right hand overhead. Move with your breath here, back and forth. at your own pace. Inhale, left arm over. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Take 2 more rounds here. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Windmill your arms all the way down. Send your right leg back to meet the left. And high plank or knees, chest, chin all the way down. Baby cobra. Exhale, come down. Tuck the toes and push yourself back up into downward facing dog. We're gonna do that a couple more times. We're just gonna pick up the pace just a little bit. So inhale, send your left leg up high. Exhale, send it to meet in between your hands. Root to rise, warrior 2. Meet your elbow with your knee. Reverse your warrior. Windmill all the way down. High plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Push up into downward facing dog. Send your right leg up. Send it through. Open up into warrior 2. Really starting to feel that heat build a little bit. Keeping with that ujjayi breath, that constricted feeling in the back of your throat. Meet your elbow to knee. Left hand goes over. Right hand comes back. Reverse your warrior. Windmill all the way back down. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna go one more time each side, okay? Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, send it through. Drop the heel, open up into warrior 2. Elbow to knee. Reverse your warrior. All the way through. High plank. Knees, chest, chin. Cobra. Downward facing dog. Inhale, opposite side. Left leg goes up. Send it through. Oh, it was supposed to be your right leg. If you followed me, I'm so sorry. If you did not, good job. Go ahead and switch to the opposite side. Warrior 2. Reverse your warrior. Windmill all the way back down. High plank. Chaturanga. Baby cobra. Downward facing dog. Go ahead and drop your knees to your mat. Send them out wide and sink back into a wide-legged child's pose. Grab water if you need it. Come back to your intention. Feel the heat. Feel your breath slowly start to slow down. Take your last couple deep breaths here. When you're ready, you can push yourself back up into your downward facing dog. We're gonna send the right leg all the way up, stack the hips, and let your leg hang heavy into a three-legged dog. Some people say this is like a dog like peeing on a fire hydrant. I get it. Really open up your hip and your right side body. When you're ready, we are gonna tuck your knee into your center, and we're gonna aim for your right elbow with your knee and lay your leg flat. Untucking the left leg, laying it down. I'm gonna face you guys so you can see me. This is pigeon pose. If you have a block or a pillow or a blanket or something, you can set that underneath your right glute if it's not coming all the way down to the mat. How are you doing? Good? Good. So option to stay here or option to come down to your elbows. You can make fists and stack your hands on top of one another and let your head rest on top of your hands. Or you can stay all the way up here. Really stretching through that right glute. Your inner hip. Rocking back and forth, giving a little bit of massage to that midline. My hips are always super tight, so this is nice for me. Take one more round of breath. Push yourself up back to center. Tuck the left toes. Bring the knee up and send the right leg back to meet the left. Back into downward facing dog. Inhale, send the left leg all the way up high. Stack the hips. So when I say stack the hips, it's really just opening that left leg to kind of sit on top of the right. And then you can let your left foot just kind of hang heavy here. Staying strong through your shoulders, your fingertips, your hands. When you're ready, we're gonna send that left leg all the way through. Left knee goes for left elbow, and set your ankle down in front of your, or behind your right hand. Untuck your right toe. Option 2, stay up here. Or again, if you have something you want to tuck under your glute here, give you a little bit more stability. Go ahead and do that. I usually just have this little tiny little soft pillow But Eloise was playing with it today and pretending to put her babies to sleep. It was adorable. If you want to move down, you can bring your elbows down, stack your hands on top of one another. Find a little bit of movement. Massaging that iliotibial band. Stretching through your left gluteus maximus. Take a couple more organic movements. When you're ready, we're gonna bring our hands to our mat. They're not already there. Tuck the right toes, pick up the knee, and send the left leg back to meet the right. Walk out your down dog a couple more times. Stretching through those hamstrings. We're gonna slowly walk our feet to the center of our mat, not all the way up. Bring your toes together. You wanna come to fingertips, that's fine. And we're gonna let the hips sink deep, opening up the legs, bringing your hands flat out in front of you. If crow is in your practice, you can feel free to go ahead and do that. Another good point, if you have a block here, so if you want to try to practice crow, I can go ahead and lead you guys into that. So when you're sitting here, you see your knees are right about at your elbows. So you come up onto your tippy toes and take turns just lifting one leg and then the other while your knees sit on the backs of your arms. And if you have a block, good reason to enter the giveaway because I'm giving some away. If you have a block, you can rest your head on your block and practice with the block so that way you don't fall forward. I took a yoga class and she was instructing people on how to do it, and the girl was practicing on a hardwood floor and she was at the top of her mat and she went all the way forward and smacked her head on the hardwood floor. So make sure your mat is in front of you if you are practicing, or that cute little pillow if you have one. So go ahead and take turns lifting one leg and then the other, staying focused on a drishti point or a focal point, staying strong through your arms. Yes, you're doing so good. Emily, tuck your knees in just a little bit higher on your elbow here. And so some people will do it so their knee is like actually on their elbow like this. I like to go on just a little bit outside and use the inner part of my knee. So it's more like this. And you have a little bit more ground to work with on your leg. Yeah, there you go. Stay strong through your arms. So good. So impressed. Take a couple more little tiptoes here. When you're ready, we're going to bring our knees down to the mat, untucking the toes, and standing on our knees. Go ahead and shake your wrists out. Give them a couple turns. We're going to inhale, our arms above head. Now you have an option to just interlace your hands behind your back and squeeze your shoulders together. You have an option to bring your hands into prayer behind your back. Or you have the option to interlace your peace fingers or reach for your peace fingers behind your back too. If you are reaching with one arm under and one arm over, take a couple more breaths and then switch sides. So bringing your left arm on top and your right arm underneath. Stretching, really stretching. You want to try for prayer. I don't really know a good way to walk into this one. I always just kind of reach for my pinkies to go together first and then start to put the rest of my fingers together. So you have an option to stay here or option two. Bring your left arm and then your right arm back. Untuck your legs, bringing the soles of your feet to your mat into a reverse tabletop. Your fingertips are facing towards your feet. You're really pushing through your shoulders, staying strong through your neck. You can kick one leg out, then the other. Take a couple more big, deep breaths here. Exhale, come back all the way onto your seat. We're gonna send our legs out in front of us and bring our right leg over our left. Inhale your arms above head and take your left arm and hug the right, stretching through that right leg, setting your right fingertips back behind you for a little bit of brace, and gently looking over your right shoulder. Tuck your navel in for a little bit deeper of a stretch. Exhale, release, come back to center. Switching your legs around, bringing the left over your right. Inhale your arms above head And twist over to the left, hugging that left leg into your chest. Your left fingertips bracing behind you and gently looking over your shoulder. Feeling a nice twist in your spine now that your body has worked so hard during this entire session. Exhale, release. Go ahead and bring your hands behind your knees and rock back. And take a couple sways back and forth, massaging your spine, your low back, meeting all the way down on your mat. We're going to send our left leg long and our right leg all the way up. Point and flex your foot. Rotate your ankle a couple times. And send your right leg all the way over to the left side, keeping your leg extended long. You can send your right leg, your right arm out over to the opposite side. Just twisting our spine a little bit more. Inhale, come back to center. Send the right leg out long and send the left one up all the way extended. You can interlace your hands behind your thigh and point and flex your foot. Rotate the ankle one way and the other. And go ahead and send the left leg long over to the right. You can send your left arm out, possibly under your couch like mine is. Gently twisting. Exhale, come back to center. Hug both your knees in tight. Go ahead and take any final movements here that your body's asking for. Or you can send your legs out wide, letting your ankles fall to the sides. Moving the glutes out of the way so your tailbone can come to the mat. Sending your arms out, taking up as much space as you need to. You can gently bring your eyes to close or look down the bridge of your nose. Feeling your heart rate start to slow as it comes back into a normal rhythm. Letting your shoulders lay heavy on your mat. Facing your palms up as to receive all the things that the universe is giving you. Checking in with your hips, your knees, your ankles. And coming back to the intention that you set at the beginning of the practice. As you start to relax into a bit of a more deepened state here, I'd like you to imagine a little ball of light in the center of your chest. Swirling around with happiness, joy, contentment, self-love. Now imagine that ball getting a little bit bigger and bigger as it starts to expand past your body, past the room that you're in, the house, the building, down the street, around your town. Your state, your country, your planet. Send all that goodness, all that happiness that you have in that ball of light within you to everything around you, and you'll receive happiness in return. You can slowly start to bring your awareness back to your body, wiggling through your toes or your fingers. Rolling over to one side or the other, tucking your arm in like a little pillow. And when you're ready, you can push yourself up into a seat. Inhale, reach for all that goodness you just sent out and bring it back to your heart center. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Thanks, you beautiful people. I'm going to stop this recording.